How many excellent books, TV shows, songs, poems, commercials, podcasts, video games, radio broadcasts, short stories, plays, speeches, and other assorted forms of media have been made about jailbreaks? Too many to count, right? Especially after I listed off all those different forms they may take. There's something special about an escape story, whether it's reintroducing a danger to society or a charming but lost-skirting rapscallion breaking free of the shackles that bind them. With equal measures heroism, righteous anger, and antisocial sentiment, we just seem to love a good jailbreak scenario. We all on some level are appalled by the prison industrial complex. It flies in the face of the freedom we should all be afforded as a basic human right. Even if you support prisons, you sure as hell don't want to be in one. So you follow the rules and stay away from dangerous elements. Well, SCPs by nature break laws. Laws of common sense, laws of understanding, so we lock them up. But of course, anything locked up will try to escape. Sometimes it'll be a heroic escape. Sometimes it'll be a slaughter. Either way, the act of flying the coop always makes for a good story. Hello horror heads, and welcome back to the scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos. I'm your horror host, Keegan Hughes, and today we're bringing you a brand new Foundation fleeing video, the Top 5 Scariest SCP Creatures that managed to escape, Part 2. Before we get started, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more Houdini style tales. Wicked. Let's get going. Kicking us off at number 5, we have SCP-1609. Right now there's really no real way to keep this SCP contained. The current strategy is to encourage it to stay within the containment area. Please just chill out with these flowers and be some really good mulch. This has been working for a while, especially because 1609 would rather avoid those who would hurt it. At one point this was a chair made of oak and leather. It looked like a reclining woman in a restful state. 1609's anomalous properties weren't dangerous by any means, but did risk the exposing of anomalous entities to the general public. The chair would teleport to a person if they felt the need to sit and there was no comfy chair nearby. Once there, it would hang out until somebody else felt a similar urge. Sounds pretty useful, right? Pretty benign too. But the Global Occult Coalition decided that it was too big a risk and tossed it in a wood chipper. Now 1609 is a big pile of wood chips and other chair materials. It can't be destroyed further as it's now on high alert and will teleport away from any perceived danger. Unfortunately, teleporting away isn't the only thing it will do in self-preservation. If someone approaches wearing some sort of uniform that would remind it of the GOC, or utters any GOC adjacent phrase, or even poses some sort of perceived threat, 1609 will teleport pieces of itself into the individual's lungs. Yeah, chair scraps in your lungs. Not something that you want. These pieces will cause immediate and severe damage to the organs most famous for their breathing abilities. This leads to rapid and painful death. Never again will you step outside for some fresh chair. Okay, I'll stop. 1609 can basically come and go as it pleases thanks to its teleportation abilities. Sometimes it'll just disappear from storage site 08 and there's not much the Foundation can do. However, it does seem to prefer to stay under Foundation custody due to the lower risk of further damage. This is a perfect example of why the Foundation's approach of securing, containing, and protecting entities is superior to the more other destructive methods. A relatively safe teleporting chair was upgraded to a Keter pile of scraps in a heartbeat. Coming in at number 4, we have SCP-2852. Oh, Cousin Johnny, you're so... What's Cousin Johnny like again? Oh boy, when did I last see him? The wedding? Was it Uncle Craig's funeral? That can't be good. SCP-2852 appears at all sorts of Catholic and Anglican religious functions and is treated like an established family member. This is odd, because they are definitely not related to these people, nor are they even human. While they do appear as middle-aged white dudes, they don't actually have any identifiable organs, and their hair and teeth are made out of chitin, similar to that found in cicadas. Cicadas? Bah. These features may not immediately be noticeable, but the fact that 2852 speaks in a word salad should be. They're capable of speech, sure, but they show no grasp of language whatsoever. Even so, individuals at events will claim that their cousin Johnny was acting normally and speaking intelligently. They don't just show up at events for free food though, no way. Cousin Johnny will take on major roles at these events and do some pretty disturbing things. They might skin the baby at a baptism or yank some teeth from the bridal party. Whatever they do at the event though is small potatoes compared to the long-term effects. People in attendance will find themselves afflicted with all sorts of terrible ailments depending on the type of event it was. Infertility among married couples, higher divorce rates, familial trauma, increased cannibalistic urges, and more are guaranteed to crop up after Cousin Johnny's visit. Not great. Really terrible, actually. You'd think that just barring them from these events would be the end of it, but you'd be wrong. No matter what the Foundation does, they seem to slip in unimpeded. If Cousin Johnny wants to attend the wedding, Cousin Johnny is gonna attend that wedding. Because of this, there haven't been any instances that the Foundation can really keep tabs on. Even if they're physically restrained, they'll disappear after a little while, and then they'll be back to bleed into a casket or feed you teeth. Ugh, teeth. Coming in at number 3, we have SCP-650, jump scares personified. If that's your kind of thing, maybe consider getting on to 650 detail. It's kind of like a Five Nights at Freddy's situation with a need to be constantly surveilled lest it pop up right behind you. 650 is a black humanoid statue with no facial features. The default posture has it reaching upwards with its head tilted towards the sky. If not observed, the statue will relocate itself right behind someone and assume a threatening posture. Makes no noise during this relocation, so nobody's been able to figure out the method of locomotion. As most jump scary things do, this elicits a wicked fight or flight response in the person it's scaring. Kinda like a weeping angel now that I think about it, but less existentially terrifying. While it does like to freak people out, there doesn't seem to be any active aggression or hostility. It moves not to attack, but just to startle. The motives for this creepy behavior are yet unknown. My theory? Monsters Inc. It's collecting screams to power a small suburb. At one point, the Foundation considered the statue to be safe, as it would only scare the folks observing it within the containment area. It got upgraded to Euclid after managing to appear on the other side of the site, absolutely terrifying the presiding doctor. Since then, additional observational methods have been enacted, but who knows how far it'll teleport next time. Walking in at number 2, we have SCP-1440. This man can just walk right out of containment. The escapes aren't too exciting, but it has happened a few times now with particularly destructive results. The old man from nowhere is constantly wandering, moving from place to place in a currently incomprehensible pattern. It's for the best that he keeps walking though, because if he were to stop anywhere for particularly long, the place would invariably self-destruct. 1440 has an adverse effect on everything man-made that he has contact with for longer than a few days. Prolonged exposure to people or people-made things will cause destructive events to occur in its vicinity. He's aware of this effect and attempts to avoid folks whenever possible. However, he does seem to be compelled to travel in his odd, incalculable pattern, which will always lead him back to human contact. Thankfully, 1440 isn't hostile. In fact, he won't resist containment attempts at all. All attempts have failed though, with significant loss of personnel and resources. At one point, he reached out to a Foundation doctor hoping that the Foundation would be able to destroy him. After being brought to a site for questioning, the site was destroyed along with 6 safe and Euclid SCPs. Yikes. All other attempts to contain it have ended up the same. One time, even a nuclear device detonated despite numerous failsafes. 4 times the Foundation has attempted to contain 1440, 4 times it has walked free. Best to leave it alone for now, but with humans expanding their influence across the world, it's hard to avoid. And lastly, at number 1, we have SCP-682. We all know about 682 at this point. This hard to destroy reptile is a fan favorite, and it's hard to imagine the SCP universe without this terrifying regenerating lizard. It has broken containment on many occasions as detailed in its experiment log. However, my personal favorite escape happened thanks to SCP-999. Yep, this lovable little jelly blob. This is detailed in Addendum SCP-999-B, in which 999 was introduced to 682 in an attempt to curb its omnicidal rage. 999 hops in, gurgles, and then begins to tickle 682. Even after being absolutely flattened, the tickle fight continues until 682 falls asleep with a smile on its face. Once researchers were satisfied with the results, D-Class were sent in to grab 999. Upon its removal, 682 immediately woke up and fired off what can only be described as a laughter wave while laughing maniacally. Everyone in range collapsed into a fit of laughter, allowing 682 to escape and slaughter all sorts of personnel. After suppressing and recontaining it, the supervising doctor issued a memo detailing the experiment as unsuccessful and ending in tragedy, but also the funniest thing they had ever seen. Only a 682-999 combo could cause equal measures of hilarity and catastrophe. Let's not try it again though. There you have it, 5 more SCPs. Huh. What do you think? Which one of the 5 is your favorite? What are some more of your favorite SCP escape stories? Make sure you let me know down in the comments. Speaking of comments, let's have a look at some of your more slippery ones from Top 5 Weirdest Horror Movies of All Time, Part 8. Clay Schutz says, I absolutely loved the voices. Truly a hidden gem that I'm sure a lot of horror fans missed. It was awesome. Yeah, it had a bit of a weird release. It was like straight to video on demand with a very limited theatrical run. Definitely want to check out though if you haven't already. Brian Baker says, I used to DJ at an industrial night and the soundtrack for Tetsuo was always a go-to for me. If someone knew what it was, they were a friend for life. That is wicked, and it also gives me a new bucket list item. Hear the Tetsuo soundtrack in public somewhere. Noe75 says, if you thought Jack Frost was weird, wait till you see Jack Frost 2. All I can say is killer baby snowmen and banana daiquiris. I figured that I would save that one for another day. Definitely an experience to say the least. Devil Deadly says, good morning. Good day. I have no idea when people are gonna watch this, so I'll keep all my bases covered. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm gonna try that one again just so it catches up to me. I'm too fast. I'm too quick for this.